This is the Kysona M511. It's a gaming mouse with an ergonomic shape, Pixar 3395 sensor, and a decent weight. It was actually released last year. So the big question is it still worth it? Let's find out. Before we dive into all specifics, I want to be completely transparent with you. This unit was indeed sent over by Kysona for review. However, please rest assured, all the views and opinions I'm about to share are entirely my own, unbiased, and based purely on my experience with the mouse. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. First impressions begins with the unboxing experience. When you crack open the box, you'll find a few essentials that get you set up right away. Inside, you'll see a user manual to guide you through the initial setup and features. You'll also get a USB-C to USB-A cable, which is crucial for both charging the mouse and connecting it for wired mode gameplay. To ensure optimal wireless signal and placement, Kysona has included a handy USB extender. The 1K USB dongle receiver can also be found inside because the M511 has no dongle compartment. And the last item you'll see inside the box is the Kysona M511 gaming mouse itself. Now, let's get up close and personal with the mouse's physical layout. Starting with the top shell, there are 5 primary buttons. You'll also find a DPI indicator just below the left and right clicks. Flip the mouse over, and the bottom layout is where some of the more technical elements reside. Here you'll see the connection switch, allowing you to easily toggle between wired and wireless modes. There's also a dedicated DPI button, the PTFE mouse feet, and finally, the Pixar 3395 optical sensor. And from a purely design standpoint, the clickers of the M511 are quite similar to those found on the Razer Bifer gaming mouse. It is also available in 2 classic colorways, black and white. This provides a minimalist look that should fit into most the setups without drawing too much attention. Let's talk about the shape and ergonomics of the Kysona M511, as this is a big factor for comfort and performance. It has a dimension of 121 by 61 by 41 mm. For those familiar with the wide range of gaming mice, the Lamps of Paros shape is one of the closest comparison you'll find. However, there's a subtle but important distinction. The back hump of the M511 leans more towards the back compared to the Paro. This can offer a different kind of palm support, especially for those who prefer a fuller feel towards the rear of the mouse. Other notable similarities in terms of overall shape that might give you a better idea of its feels includes the Razer Other V3 Hyperspeed and the Rock Captain Wireless. For our international viewers, it's worth noting that Rock Gears is a local gaming brand in the Philippines known for offering budget-friendly gaming peripherals. Honestly, the M511 has a comfy shape that fills your hand nicely, and it's particularly good for palm or claw grip users who like a more noticeable hump for stability. For me, the M511's shape and size are just okay for my hand. Not too big, not too small. My hand size, for reference, is 18.5 by 9.5 centimeters. Frankly, the dimensions aren't bad, but I do prefer a slightly wider rear on a gaming mouse. And as for its coating, it's the usual one we see on budget gaming mice. It's not too grippy, especially when your hand is dry. To be honest, I expected this because of its price. And based on my experience testing gaming mice, we seldom see good coatings on budget alternatives. Now let's talk about weight, which is a critical factor for many gamers. According to my weighing scale, the Kysona M511 comes in at a solid 61 grams. For some competitive players who prefer ultralight mice, this might feel a bit on the heavier side. However, for others, 61 grams is perfectly respectable and often falls into that quote-unquote just right category. It's definitely fine for many users who prioritize a robust feel without being overly heavy. It gives you a sense of control without feeling cumbersome during long gaming sessions. Moving on to the core performance, the Kysona M511 is equipped with the PAW3395 sensor. In my extensive testing, I've encountered no issues whatsoever. My unit has no jittering, no erratic movements, and absolutely no spinouts. And regarding polling rate, it's important to manage expectations here. The M511 does not support 8K polling rate. It's only available at the standard 1K polling rate. While some high-end competitive setups might chase higher polling rates, for the vast majority of users, the 1K polling rate is more than sufficient. In my experience, I honestly haven't encountered any latency issues or noticeable delays during gameplay. The responsiveness feels immediate, and I haven't felt any disadvantage due to the 1K polling rate. And let's get tactile and talk about the switches and buttons. For the main left and right clickers, Kysona has opted for one purple white dot switches. I have observed minimal pre and post travel, which is common in budget alternatives. Thankfully, I've encountered no switch grinding so far. The clickers also flexive with no side flexing or side wobbling, which speaks to good build quality and a secure housing for the switches. However, the story is a bit different for the side buttons. They feel quite mushy when clicking, and similar to the main clicks, pre and post travel are present as well, but in a more noticeable way. On the positive side, the side buttons are easily reachable for most grip styles and don't wobble in place, which is crucial for consistent actuation during intense gaming. Meanwhile, the scrolling experience is also pretty decent. The scroll wheel itself is not too stiff and not too hard when pressing. It has a defined tactile step, making it easy to cycle through weapons when gaming or scroll through web pages accurately without feeling either too loose or overly resistant. By the way, here's a quick sound test of the gaming mouse. Powering the Kysona M511 is a 500 mAh battery capacity. This large battery size is a contributing factor to the 61-gram weight we discussed earlier, offering a trade-off between absolute lightness and extended playtime. In my testing, I have recorded 24 hours of wireless uptime. However, please keep in mind that I haven't fully drained the battery yet during my testing period, so it's possible it could go even longer. And to customize the gaming mouse, let's dive into its software. The Kysona M511 software can be downloaded directly from Kysona's official website. Upon opening it, you'll find the UI quite familiar, especially if you have used peripherals from other brands. It looks notably similar to the software of Fanatec Helios 2 Pro, indicating a shared or similar underlying platform. Inside the software, all the usual and necessary settings adjustments. This includes mapping the buttons to various functions, macros, or shortcuts. You can also update the DPI increments, which can be precisely set by 50s. And of course, you can also adjust the polling rate within the software. Though as I mentioned, it maxes out at 1K Hz. As for the build quality, my unit doesn't have any creaking, flexing, or rattling sounds when I shake it, and in all the time I've used it, I haven't run into any build quality issues. The top shell seems to be really well installed. Anyway, here's an example. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room, the price. As of the making of this video, the Kysona M511 is currently priced at 2,359 Philippine pesos on Shopee. To be perfectly honest, it's quite expensive. With the emergence of the Pixar 3950 sensor, gaming mice with higher polling rates, and its limited specifications, this gaming mouse should be below 2,000 pesos in my opinion. And for my final thoughts on the Kysona M511, personally, I'm a claw grip user when I game, and this mouse's shape just clicks for me. It feels really comfortable and natural in my hand. We're talking long gaming sessions without any discomfort, which is exactly what you want. The weight is also spot on 61 grams. It's light enough for quick flicks but still feels substantial enough for good control. What really seals the deal for me is the reliability. I put this mouse through its paces and I haven't run into single issue so far. No weird sensor hiccups, no double clicking or mushy main clickers. It's been solid so far, but not all are good with this gaming mouse. The coating and its mouse feet are subpar in my opinion. Good thing it comes with grip tapes, and definitely you can get aftermarket mouse cases for it. Another concern for me is the price. It's quite high to be honest. I think the best option is to wait for promotions so that we can get this at a lower price. And to answer our question, if it's still worth it, I think no, because of the price. I think it should be really below 2,000 pesos or below $30 US. And that's it guys, we have reached the end part now. Hopefully this video helped you in your purchasing decisions. Till our next, goodbye.